Welcome back. It is May 1st, 2024. Sorry, ignore the sirens. Um, so today we're going to talk about my 2024 Senate election forecast. So basically, here it is. This is not mine, but this is what very simple. I'm just going to pull up the candidates. Okay. Arizona, Kristen Sinema, not running. It's going to be Ruben Gallego and pretty sure Carrie Lake is running there. Yes, correct. And last poll had Gallego up 2%. Okay. Rick Scott is going for a second term in Florida. He should probably easily win that state. Just without a doubt, he should win that state. It should not be close. Like, not at all. Um, Other than that, I'm just going to mark off all these ones that are safe. As you can tell, um, Democrats have a lot more people up in this one than the other ones. Because this is what we get with swing states. Hawaii. This is where we get with 9 toss-up states left. And then they have Maryland as a toss-up, but Maryland should be a pretty safe state. It's just Maryland also has, pretty sure the old Republican, yes, Hogan. Hogan is running for Maryland's Republican Senate seat. But again, Maryland should still go. That's also versus Albrecht, and that's versus Trone. But Maryland still should go Democratic. Just because you won a governorship does not mean you were for sure locked in for the Senate on that end. So I think Maryland won't be much of a worry. Maine shouldn't be a worry. Angus King is an independent going for his third. Should not be a worry. Michigan will be a fear because she's not. Debbie Stabenow is not running for her fifth re-election, so Michigan will have to have a primary. Montana, John Tester going for his fourth election. So far, he has outlasted the normal length of a Montana Democratic leader opposition. Because Montana is a very safe Republican. I mean, Donald Trump won it by 17 points. It is a very safe Republican state most of the time. Okay. Next is Bob Mendes from New Jersey. This is the guy that's been in trouble with a bunch of scandals. He's just not running because the Democrats won't let him run, so he's going to get primaried out. Jackie Rosen in Nevada, going for her second term. She was elected in 2018, which was a heavily Democratic wave year. So then Ohio, Sharon Brown, going for his fourth term. He's really outlasted them in Ohio without really any close opposition. He's won every time by at least 5. Same with Bob Casey, very popular name in the state of Pennsylvania, going for his fourth term. Then Ted Cruz from Texas, a Republican, going for his third term. Last race, he did almost lose to Beto O'Rourke, but did pull out the win versus him. I think Colin Allred, though he is a very popular football player from the state of Texas and NFL, former NFL player, I don't think he is going to win this seat. I think Ted Cruz will win the seat. Tim Kaine should not have a problem in Virginia, going for his third. Wisconsin, Tammy Baldwin should not have a problem going for her third seat. Joe Manchin, which is a big retiring in West Virginia, especially since West Virginia is such a red state. If a Joe Manchin has only been elected third time, he would be going for his fourth seat. But Joe Manchin would not win that state this year, without a doubt, in my mind. He would not win it. But as of now, I think Tammy Baldwin, I think, wins Wisconsin by a likely margin. Bob Casey, same thing, by a lean margin. Um, I think they're just too good of candidates. I think Tim or Scott wins Florida by a lean margin. Same with Texas. I think he wins by a lean margin. Or Florida, I think Scott wins by a likely margin. Ted Cruz, though, in Texas, I think wins by a lean margin. He's just not popular in Texas. I just don't think he will win that seat. So as you can tell, Democrats are in a really crappy position here. They're at 45 to 50. That's a tough market to win. Winning 5 out of 5 in states that two out of the 5 went Republican. So Michigan, let's go look at the latest polls from Michigan. Michigan. So right now they have Slotkin up 42 to 40, which is possible. I mean, that is a very simplistic lean margin in Michigan, which should happen. Michigan, if she performs just as well as Joe Biden or not, just a little bit off, she will win. She should outperform Joe Biden, actually. Never mind. As an incumbent, she should outperform Joe Biden, especially since he's very unpopular in the state because of all the Israel and Hamas conflicts. So, Sharon Brown, let's go look at Ohio. Sharon Brown, the last poll. Trying to find it. Sorry about that. Oh, there we go. That's Nevada. My bad. Oh. There's multiple candidates that Brown could go against in Ohio, so I don't want to, because the primary hasn't happened yet, so I don't want to put too much out there because it might not happen. Um, but as of now, I still think Brown does win. Um, I think Sherrod Brown does win the Ohio Senate election just because he is such a popular name in the Senate. But it is a toss up. I agree with their assessment, 70s assessment. I think Ohio is a very toss up. Arizona is also a very toss up, just because Carrie Lake isn't a candidate. Gallego is not proven yet. Same thing with John Tester. John Tester does have a tough spot to win, but other than that, I think Jackie Rosen does win by a lean or a tilt margin in the state of Nevada. Okay, so back to the other 3 toss-ups. Currently, I think Sharon Brown does win in Ohio by a tilt margin. I don't think he wins by anything more than that, because I just don't think Ohio went to Donald Trump by what? By 9 points. That's a big swing. But I will say J.D. Vance in his race didn't win by that much. He did not win by 9 points. Let's see. J.D. Vance. Let's see how much he won by. He won by 6 points versus Tim Ryan, who was a very popular Democratic leader in the state. But so 6 points is not what Donald Trump did. So I think there will be some crossover votes, and it probably will get Sharon Brown over the top, I think, in my eyes, just because he is such a popular Senate. Also, same thing with Arizona. I think Carrie Lake is a very extreme far right candidate that they're trying to run in Arizona. In the last poll, Gallego was up 2. Um, but like like most, I mean, and Gallego has been up in all of the polls so far. So far, he's averaging 6, but there's only been 2 polls. One from February and one from April, the last couple, which was closer. 2 compared to 10. So, I mean, in my eyes, I think this is going to be a very close race. But I still think Gallego does win it just because Carrie Lake lost to a person who wasn't even campaigning last time in Arizona, and she lost. And she shouldn't have. She should have won easily in that state. Same thing with John Tester, though. In the polls, John Tester leads by 5 points as now. Just because, but also, John Tester already beat Tim Sheehy. Or wait, oh, never mind. Sheehy is projected to be the candidate. But Rosendale is running against Sheehy in the Republican primary. So it'll be interesting to see who wins that. Because if Rosendale wins it and Sheehy loses, Rosendale's going to lose again, more than likely. Because, I mean, you lose by 3 once. Like, most people are going to be okay with John Tester staying because he is a very popular senator. So, in my eyes, if Rosendale wins, Tester has a walkaway victory. If Sheehy wins, I think it is closer than that 5 margin. I think it's closer to the 1 to 2 range, like that's saying right there in the polls. So, in my eyes, I think it's to a tilt margin Montana. Obviously, look at the Democrats, what they have had to do. They had to fend off 1, 2, 3, 4 very close states. And also Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, very close states. 7 very close states that they had to fend off. Well, Republicans only had to really fend off 2 that their incumbents were in. And Florida and Texas shouldn't even be that close. So, in my eyes, I'd rather be in the Republicans' position here. You don't have as many problems as the Democrats do. The Democrats have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 states where they could lose and they will lose Senate control because they're not winning Texas or Florida. Unless Ted Cruz becomes the worst senator in the whole United States, Ted Cruz is not losing in Texas. And Texas just somehow radically becomes extremely left. No way Ted Cruz loses. Not a chance, especially if he's running on the border policy or anything. There's no way he loses that seat. Florida, same thing. Florida Republicans have started to get way better at their campaigning, at their marketing, at their what they are doing in the state. They're becoming more and more popular, which it means bigger wins, bigger margins, more money. So in my eyes, I think Florida easily goes to Tim Scott. I think pretty easily that he wins. Same with Florida, though, or Texas. I think Cruz wins. Also by the circle, meaning that there's a special election in Nebraska because of the election of Pete Ricketts was an appointment by the governor. Basically, it was like a kiss your ass moment for because Ricketts helped Pillen get elected, and now Pillen basically gave Ricketts, the old governor, Ricketts is the old governor of Nebraska, who wasn't very popular, but won re-election because he had an R by his name in the state. But that's not the point. Just letting you know that there is a special election in Nebraska. But other than that, I think John Tester has the biggest test, and then Sharon Brown has the second biggest test. Nevada and Arizona aren't the biggest test because Nevada, Rosen's won last time by a small margin. Like, it's what happened last time. Geigo just hasn't proven himself, so that'd be my viewpoint on that. But other than that, I think it's just a hard, like, for Democrats, it is a hard turn about what you can do. Especially if Maryland becomes even a harder state because right now Hogan is supposedly up in Maryland. I don't know how, but I mean it's just because the Democrats haven't chosen their side, so they don't know for sure who's going to be the party name or leader. I think that's what's happening in my view. But in my eyes, I'd rather be Republicans 10 out of 10 times for the Senate map. They should be able to single handedly win this Senate pretty easily. They should be able to take back the majority pretty handily. And if they don't, if they lose a seat, if they lose a Texas, a Florida, or don't keep West Virginia, or a Nebraska special election, if they somehow lose one of those seats, that is a terrible showing by the Republican Party. They should be able to win 52, 53. They could win 54 seats. And the Republicans or the Democrats could be stuck with 48 or even more. They could win 56 of the 100 seats in the Senate. And they could. But just as of today and what I'm seeing, the Republicans haven't chosen their person in Montana yet, so that could get closer. Jackie Rosen is a likable person in Nevada. Arizona, Kari Lake is just too extreme for the Republican Party in Arizona. It'll push away Republican independent voters, Republican moderates, and independent voters. And then Ohio, Sherrod Brown's just been there 3 elections. He has survived 3 elections. I don't think he will have a problem with his election. I just don't. I think he will be able to last without a problem, be able to beat the challenger. I think he is too good of a candidate and too strong of a candidate to lose to him. I will say, though, he does have a tough test. Like, it's not going to be an easy race. Like, he will have to go through a lot. But I still think when it is done, when it is all over, he will win the Ohio primary or Ohio election. He should, at least. It shouldn't be that big of a worry. But they also haven't chose who he's going to run against. But Moreno is far right. Dolan is also far right. LaRose, I think, is the only one that is not. All right, let's actually look at all 3 of them. Moreno is +4 in the last one. Okay, so +5 is the average there. Brown versus Moreno. Brown versus Dolan. The margin's like 1.5, which is good. And LaRose, the average is 7, 6.5. So Democrats want LaRose to win. Basically, if they could have any their way, they want LaRose to win. So let's look at that Republican primary. It's very toss-up-y. It is very close. You got Moreno, Dolan, and Dolan. So LaRose isn't winning in any of them, which is good for the Republicans. Because Moreno, yes, his average is about 5. And Dolan's is about 2. If Dolan becomes the candidate, Republicans should be very happy about the state of Ohio. They can win Ohio. But if LaRose somehow becomes the candidate, Republicans should not be happy, should not be confident about their decisions in Ohio. They are going to lose Ohio if LaRose is the candidate. So the Democrats will probably pump money into LaRose's campaign to help him win. It's what they did last year with Herschel Walker in Georgia. That's what they're going to do probably with LaRose in Ohio. So with that, this will be the last video of the day. Probably won't post any tomorrow just because I uploaded 3 today. But if you have any comments, leave them. If you have any suggestions or comments, just leave them at the bottom in the comments section. If not, please like and subscribe to this video. Really appreciate all the support, and I hope you're enjoying watching me talking about the elections. So have a good one, everyone.